Hi, my name is Laurie, and I struggle with bipolar disorder type 2 and borderline personality disorder. So what does it really feel like to have bipolar disorder or even borderline personality disorder? These are mood disorders or personality disorders that give us extreme and intense emotions. So if you have a healthy brain, your brain lets you know, like, this is a happy occasion, you should feel happiness. Or this is a scary situation, you need to be in fight or flight mode and you need to figure out how to get out of this. Or you've just lost somebody you care about and you need to be depressed and feel that loss. So in a healthy brain, when you have a situation, then your brain is telling you, like, this is how you should react and this is how you should respond. But what if you have bipolar disorder? So I'm going to give you 3 illustrations and then talk about it for a second or a minute at the end. So the first real big life event, let's say, and I'm just going to use the example of a woman since I'm a woman. So let's say that I'm a young woman and I have fallen in love with the man of my dreams. Like, he checks all the boxes and he's asked me to marry him. We're getting married and I have the money to have the absolute perfect wedding of my dreams. Okay, so the day before the wedding comes and I am so excited. Things could not be going better. So I've got the dress that I've always wanted. The flowers are beautiful. The cake is perfect. All of the guests have RSVP'd, yes, that they are coming. And I am just so excited. And I have trouble sleeping that night because my brain is just so excited and it's happy and it's going from thought to thought to thought. Well, if you have a healthy brain, that might make sense because you have a life event that's causing you to feel these feelings. So the day of the wedding comes and it is perfect. It is beautiful. The weather is beautiful. It could not have gone better. There's just no way. It couldn't have gone better. It was just perfect. And you are feeling that. You are feeling so much happiness. You're feeling like everything is perfect. Nothing could go wrong. Nothing could feel better than this. And you are just so excited and it's just a perfect day. And nothing is going to bring you down. That night, you go on your honeymoon and your husband falls asleep about midnight. Well, here you are. You're still excited from the day's events. You are still the happiest you have ever been in your whole life. This was the perfect, most magical day ever. And you can't sleep because you keep going over everything that's happened that day. So you pull out your phone and you start looking at Amazon. And it's like, oh, there's this big, beautiful grill. I can just see me and my husband out back, entertaining family and friends and him cooking at that grill. And I'm going to order that. Oh, and look at this dress. That would be so pretty. Oh, I need that. I can just see me wearing that for the first time we have everybody over for a cookout. Oh, it's Sally's birthday. Look at this. She is absolutely going to love this. I'm going to go ahead and order this. And before you know it, you have ordered lots of things that you may or may not need because you got so excited and you were so bored and your mind was jumping from thought to thought that you've gone over your budget and you've spent more money than you actually have to spend. Now, if you're someone with bipolar disorder, your brain chemicals can make you think that you've just had this great event, but you haven't had a great event. The brain chemicals or the signals in your brain are signaling to you that you should feel this happiness and this excitement, and yet there's really no reason for it. And you can't stop it from happening. Your emotions are controlling you. You're not in control of your emotions. So if you feel like that and you go to, say, a funeral, well, you're still going to feel that happiness and that elation and isn't everything great and isn't everything perfect. And that's what's going to come across to other people. So then the second thing I want to talk about is depression and guilt. Let's say 6 months into the marriage, you and your husband one morning get into a small argument about the dishes. But you are, taking a stand. You are going to stand your ground. And for the first time ever, you don't kiss him goodbye and you don't tell him that you love him. So on his way to work, he's in a car accident and he dies. Well, when you find out, you are completely devastated. I mean, the person that you love most in the world just died. The person that all of your hopes and dreams for the future, had to do with just died. It feels like somebody has just kicked you in the gut and you feel like you can't even catch your breath. You are literally having to tell yourself, breathe, breathe. You are crying and sobbing harder than you ever have in your whole entire life. It feels like your whole entire world has fallen down around you and nothing can bring him back and nothing is going to make it better. And on top of that, you are heaped with all of this guilt of, why didn't I just give in? Why did I argue about something as stupid as the dishes? Why didn't I just kiss him? Why didn't I just tell him I love him? And all you want to do is die. You just wish that you had been in that car with him and that you had died with him. You are devastated beyond belief. Now remember, somebody with bipolar disorder doesn't have to have someone die. They can have a cashier in a store say some small comment, some hurtful comment, and it can crash them into that kind of devastating depression and loss and grief. A bipolar person can wake up in the morning from having a perfectly good day the day before, and they can wake up the next morning in a deep, dark depression like I just described. So the third thing I want to talk about is fear and anxiety and paranoia, okay? So let's say you are a single mom of 2 children and you have a 2-story house. You're upstairs asleep in your bed when all of a sudden you're awakened by the sound of glass shattering. You sit up in bed, your mind starts racing, your heart is beating so hard and so fast that you can feel the heartbeat in your head. You have this heated feeling coming from your chest into your head. All of a sudden, you have this adrenaline and this cortisol racing through your veins. You are absolutely petrified. You are scared to death. And then you hear more noise downstairs. And you realize, yes, it's true. Somebody has broken in. And then your mind starts jumping from thought to thought to thought. What do I do? Do I grab a baseball bat? Do I go downstairs? Do I confront them? Do I scream and hopefully scare them off? Do I grab my telephone and call 911, or do I run into the children's room and grab them and lock the door and try to hide? What is it that I do? And you're feeling all of this fear and this anxiety and this fight or flight. So you grab your phone, you run into the children's bedroom, you lock the door, you grab the kids, you hide in the closet, and you call 911. And now you're sitting there trying your best not to panic in front of the children, and yet you're feeling all of these feelings and emotions. And you are scared to death, and you're sitting there barely able to catch your breath. And you're thinking, what if the police don't get here in time? What if they hurt us? Why are they here? What do they want from us? Well, finally, you hear the sirens from the police car, and the people that have broken into your house have heard it too, and they escape. So the police get there, and you realize that you and your children are safe, and for a moment you might be able to catch your breath, but then comes the paranoia. Because every day after that, every time you see a shadow out of the side of your eye, every time you hear a noise in or around your house, you're scared to death. Is this person going to come back? Do they know? Do they think that I saw them? Are they going to come back? What's going to happen to us? And you feel all of this intense anger and resentment and fear and anxiety and paranoia, and you don't know how to make it stop. But if you have bipolar disorder, you don't have to have that major event happen. It can just happen out of the blue for no reason, and it can last days or weeks or months. And then you're trying to function in the world, and you're trying to make good, solid decisions. So you're trying to make financial decisions, or you're trying to go to work and be calm and do a presentation for your boss and other employees. Or again, you're going to a funeral and you're trying to be calm and stay in a conversation and have the right frame of mind and the right mood. The problem with having bipolar disorder is we don't get to control these emotions and feelings. these emotions and feelings are controlling us. They can come out of nowhere, or we may have a couple of days where we can tell we're starting to feel this way and we're starting to go downhill. But we have to live with these. And our emotions are that strong and that intense, as if something has happened, as if we've just had a life-altering event, when in fact, we may have just woken up and we felt that way. And yes, there are medications out there that can help you manage bipolar disorder. The problem with that is some of those medications may take away some of your symptoms, but they may bring on new symptoms that are just as bad that now you're having to deal with. When you take bipolar medication, you can take it for a little bit and think, oh, I'm doing well. And then all of a sudden you start having breakthrough symptoms. Or you can take a medication that has severe side effects, like these side effects could actually kill you. It can mess with your heart. It can mess with all sorts of things, and they can be catastrophic. And sometimes in taking bipolar medication, you're just managing the symptoms a little bit. So it would be like if you had a really pounding, throbbing, horrible migraine headache, and all you had was Tylenol. Tylenol might relieve it just a little bit, just enough to help you get through, but it's not going to take away the migraine headache. It's not going to manage all of the symptoms. You're still going to have that migraine headache, and you're still going to have to function through it. And that's what it feels like to have bipolar disorder. Thank you for watching.